All right, I'm here with Larry Shobe, and he's going to show us a 63 and a 64 Ford Galaxie. Are they both XLs?
Yes, they are. They're 500 XLs.
Okay, 500 XLs. So these were top-of-the-line cars, weren't they?
Yes,
Ford?
they are. They're called a luxury sport car.
The one on the left is a hardtop.
Yes, it is.
And this is a convertible on the right.
That's correct.
And I'm just gonna back up again for just a second so we can see the difference in the grille. So again, the one on the left, on my left here, is a 63. Now tell me, how long have you had this 63 Galaxie?
I've had it about 60 years.
Wow. So how close to new was it when you bought it?
Well, it looked just like it did.
It did
look just like this.
Obviously, it was a pretty original car when you bought it.
It was all original when I bought it.
And you've left it like that.
That's correct.
So tell me about the 63. What was the top engine back then?
It has a 390 4-barrel carburetor in it.
Okay.
So it's a high compression engine.
Okay, I'm going to interrupt this real quick. Larry jumped straight into answering what this particular car has, and that's really understandable. But I want to take a second here, and let's just cover the range of engines that were offered in 1963 in the full-size Fords. I've got a little chart here I put together. The economy option was the 223 inline 6. It was 138 horsepower, and that was that. The inexpensive, probably on the custom 300 series cars were probably most commonly equipped with this. Then we have the smaller Windsor, the 260 cubic inch Windsor V8, which was, as you'll see on the far right there, it was only available from early to mid 63. So 1963 model year was the transition year where the Windsor family was moving from the 260 to the 289. So you'll see the next one there, the 289. Pretty good size bump in horsepower from 163 to 195. And so that was happening in 1963. Now, that covers the two Windsor engines that could be available in this car. And then we jump to the FE engine family. And FE, of course, stands for Ford and Edsel, even though, of course, Edsel is long gone by 1963. But the engine series' name stays with it. The 352 was a pretty healthy 220 horsepower and a very popular option in 63. The 390 came in either 2 or 4 barrel, and this particular car has the 4 barrel setup, which was good for high compression and possibly up to 300 horsepower. So that's a stout engine, really great option. And then of course the 406, which had the tri-power setup, just a little bit enlarged version of the 390, and that was a pretty great high horsepower engine, probably typically kind of the top, what you would expect to be the top engine in 63. The 427 with the dual quad or dual 4-barrel setup, that was more a racing spec, NASCAR and other racing specs, so highly unlikely to see that in a stock street car. So there we go. Back to Larry.
It's a Galaxie 500 XL. Galaxie is spelled with an IE, not a Y, so it's different.
Good point.
Think about what it is.
Yep. And the grille is a little different. The headlights look a little closer together maybe or something. They're a little bit...
Yeah, they're closer together, and this is kind of dished in. The front grille matches the back grille, and if you look in the back of the car.
Oh, good point.
Whereas this is front and back don't match. They're different front to rear.
And this is also a 390
Yes,
cubic inch car on this one. Okay, now and the Galaxie 500 was kind of the luxury trim, wasn't it, for the interiors?
That was a top of the line Ford.
Uh-huh. Well, let's have a look on the interiors on these things. Now this looks like this has been cleaned up and restored somewhat here, hasn't it?
Again, this car has been brought back to original condition. This is all the interiors, the original type of interior, the buttons in the seats, the trim is all the same.
This is all done correctly.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Wow. I love how in the 60s it was often people put that radio speaker in the back between the seats. That was a really popular and a good look, wasn't it? Now, so this is an underdash air conditioning, but it says Select Aire. That looks kind of factory in a weird way.
That is a factory installation, even though it was bought separately and installed by the dealer, but that's exactly what came in this 64. It's exactly the same what's in the 63.
Okay.
If you're looking inside.
All right. So comparing the 63
Still has the same air conditioning.
Yes, it does. And a similar instrument panel layout, isn't it? Very similar.
Pretty much similar.
Not identical, though.
This has a lot of dressing on it, or what I call is jewelry on the doors.
Oh, right.
And on the seats, whereas you don't normally get that in the interior today.
Oh, no. Look at that. That is beautiful.
They got the little courtesy lights up the top in your headliner.
Oh, yeah.
So on the door, they've got the types of lights where they've got the red that shines out to the curb and the one that white shines into the car. So
nice.
Dual purpose door, and this has the same thing.
No kidding. And the console is really beautiful.
And they're both the same as well.
No.
64 and 63 have the same console.
How many miles are on this 63 here?
This one has about 102,000.
You've just been putting miles on, bringing it out to places like this so people can enjoy it.
It's a show car.
Yeah.
Just like the Whitewalls. Those are original size Whitewalls. They're about 1 3/4 inches.
And those were an option on the cars back then, weren't they?
That's what it came with.
Huh.
Same as the wheel covers. Those are dish type with spinners for 15-inch, as opposed to these over here, 14
inch, yep.
And instead of being dished in, they come out, but they have the same spinner.
Interesting. Very good. The trim is a little different, but otherwise, really, that instrument panel is about the same, isn't it?
The owner of this car standing over there, it's my son-in-law, Scott.
Oh. Hey, Scott, we're doing a little YouTube video on your car here, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
You weren't here to protect yourself. Well, this is a beautiful car you've got here. Now, let's just looking, you mentioned the tail lights and the way the
Yeah,
rear
you'll notice
panel
that
is
these are a
scooped
little
in.
bit smaller, but they have the little star shapes in them.
Right.
The 63 are a little bigger. They have the 4-star instead of the 8 or whatever the number that is.
Right. Again, another subtle difference, but just a little bit different.
And you'll notice back to the rear bumper here, it has the grill back here is the same as the front grill.
Yes.
It's supposed to look like you're seeing through it.
Yeah, I got it. That's very cool. And it's also kind of got more of a stronger wraparound bumper here, whereas on the 64 it's kind of tucked in more.
Yeah, it's actually designed to match the body on the 64, and on the
Right.
63 it wraps around the body.
Sure. We able to look under the hood of both of them?
Sure. Can we open your hood, Scott?
Yeah, that'd be great. Okay, there's the 390. And so you're saying this air conditioner is the original?
You can see what's on there. Dearborn, Michigan, same tag, the same square box type of compressor. It's still sitting there, same one.
So the same one. That's fascinating. It still works.
Yep.
That's crazy. I love it. I love that. What is this reservoir for?
That's power steering.
Power steering.
Yep.
Okay. You look at those big horns too. Those look pretty serious. Man,
Yep.
everything was built strong, wasn't it?
Came with power brakes,
Okay.
power steering,
Yeah.
air conditioning. So there wasn't nothing is
What a
added
loaded up
on.
car.
Has insulators on the hoods, which is something nice for a car today.
Yeah. Wow, that's very good. Now let's go compare the 64. Here's the 390. Now again, this under the hood has been redone, so it's a little cleaner looking or whatever.
Yeah,
but
so it's got an aftermarket air conditioning.
Yep.
It's got aftermarket power brakes.
Yeah, with the dual circuit. brake
Dual
circuit.
master.
Yep.
And an extra pump to keep the master cylinder charged up with air.
Oh, that's what that's doing. Sure,
Yep.
an extra vacuum pump.
Otherwise, you'd have to have a canister over here to provide the air you need to keep that powered up.
Right. Well, it's a practical, when you're redoing a car, you got to do a few practical things.
You see one of the chains here is his power steering pump down here, and the reservoir is part of the pump.
Okay.
Whereas that's a separate one sitting on top.
So that's a 63 to 64 difference?
Yeah.
I see.
And then two, you get your window washers, that little piece in the back.
Yeah, I see it.
Only both of them have those because they had windshield wiper motor washers.
Okay, time to jump into some details on the engines again. I'm just going to kind of contrast some of the changes here. 1964, you'll notice we had a carryover on this little 6-cylinder economy engine. I will notice now the Windsor family, there's no 260, but now there's 3 versions of the 289 available. And that is because we've got the 2-barrel, the 4-barrel, but now the hypo, it was a solid lifter, high performance, probably more popular in the early Mustang, or at least more famous. That was quite a bump of horsepower and torque, and that was very interesting. We have a carryover 352. We notice the 390 now only comes as a 4-barrel with either the 300 horsepower like this car or the police version. Then the 406 is gone, and we now have the 427 again, the Q code, which had the single 4-barrel, and I'm sure a few of those appeared in these cars. And then, of course, the 427 R code, the drag racing NASCAR style only dual 4-barrel or dual quad engine. And there you go. There's a little quick review of what was there. And obviously Larry's car here is on the upper end of that. I'm sure Larry's very glad. Or actually his son Scott is the owner of this one.
So yeah, just a few subtle differences, but still there you go. So for the Ford Galaxie spotters out there from 63 and 64, there's your comparison, guys. That I'm just going to look at the trim a little bit, the side trim on the bodies. Didn't really discuss that. I think that the 64, where it was really wide over the front wheels and kind of narrowed quickly going back, that's kind of a signature thing for me in 64.
Yes, and you'll notice the rear view mirrors. This one has a round with the Ford emblem in the center.
Yeah, look at that.
And then the 63 has the square mirror. It's inside adjustable, so you can adjust it from inside the car.
Oh, it's got the cable remote inside.
That's correct.
Okay, so it's still a remote mirror. That's very cool.
It does have vinyl top.
Uh-huh.
Because of this trim that's on there, many people think it's a convertible.
Yeah.
And it's not.
At a glance, I can see why people would think that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, that is excellent. And you know, they've got a kind of a low-cut rear quarter panels, even though it almost looks like they would be fender skirts, but
Yeah,
there aren't.
They do have fender skirts, they're just not on this car.
Oh, they're an option?
Yeah. But the car sits low to the ground, as most of them do.
Yep.
And this has a lower, sleeker look, as opposed to this that sits a little taller.
Uh-huh. Interesting points. And this, if I'm not mistaken, this is kind of an XL emblem, isn't
That's
it?
original XL, yep,
Okay.
emblem.
Yeah, which is repeated on the back here. Very cool. Well, I really appreciate you showing us around.
The other thing people think about, where do you get the gas? They're both, the gas tanks are back in the back of it.
Okay.
Both the 64 and the 63, they're both the same.
Both the same.
But they're
Just
not on the
different.
side, so it lets you have a nice shape in your body.
And you can pull up either side of the pump, it doesn't matter.
That's correct. That's a good point. Dual exhaust, they both have dual exhaust.
Well, you've enjoyed this for something like 60 years?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Most people don't get to have that much fun with their car for that long.
Yep.
So that's a credit to you on that. Very good.